a transfer of technology. We got them engaged early, the potential end users. That helped us identify the early adopter companies who would take on this technology. It helped us to make sure that we were on the mark with an identified and understood market need, and helped us to identify companies that would be appropriate commercializers. Then, once we knew we knew the market, we knew the niche, we knew the need, we knew who could take it to market, then we went out and started to look for the appropriate technologies. It was very much a market pull exercise, which sometimes takes a lot of discipline, especially when you're sitting there and the European Space Agency has a catalogue about that thick of technologies that they want you to commercialize. But by taking that process, by using that approach, we increased the probability that once a technology was transferred and adapted, because they were originally developed for space, so there was adaptation that needed to be done to make them commercially ready and fit for purpose, there was a very good probability that it would work, it was fit for purpose, and you had a list of first customers who had guided the development of that technology, so you had a small, at the time, but willing market. It was a collaboration between technology developers, commercializers, consumers, and investors. We started with 8 projects involving 14 and 33 Canadian companies. The projects ranged from vision systems for offshore aviation to telerobotics to technology for detecting gas hydrates at water depths greater than 300 meters. The program, the Harsh Environments program, was originally intended to last for 3 years. It lasted for 7, and we had the option to continue it on, but after 7 years we felt like we had really gotten all the low-lying fruit, if you will, and we were worried that we would be able to maintain the momentum as you know, we're getting to diminishing returns in terms of technologies into the markets that we understood. But at the end of it, in the last phase, the team levered over $3.5 million of private sector funding for the final 14 projects. The Harsh Environment Initiative succeeded because of successful international collaboration. It also demonstrated that engaging the ultimate customer early in the process is critical to success and establishing that beachhead in the target market. Because unless there is a buyer, no matter how ingenious the technology, lucrative commercialization is impossible. It also demonstrated the need for this receptor industry, for this technology-savvy company. Especially small companies. Current business theory holds that at least in North America, these so-called disruptive technologies are best commercialized by small to medium-sized enterprises that have the adaptability, the tenacity, the innovation to continue to push their their product further into the market. The challenge, of course, is that these small to medium-sized companies are often undercapitalized for the long campaign that introducing a new technology takes. Through the Harsh Environments Initiative, we also learned the powerful and comforting truth that the international community, such as we have here, amid sharply differing differences in language, culture, political environments, there is one great equalizer and one common denominator for all of us, and that's business, and especially the business of research and technology commercialization. It's a common denominator. We work with many institutes, government agencies, and companies from many countries on every continent on Earth except Antarctica. We have yet to find a company that's headquartered in Antarctica, so I'm thinking about setting one up there. And we've seen that the business of technology is the same in any language. Many technology developers have the same drivers and they wrestle with the same challenges. And they share the same characteristics for success, chiefly innovative thinking and behavior, flexibility, adaptability, tenacity, and passion for what they're doing. You know, a lesson is really good when it manifests itself over and over. And the lessons that we learned in the Harsh Environments Initiative, we live every day in the Polar View program that Les mentioned. This is also a case study in program management. Polar View has 96 participants from 17 different countries. Secor is the lead and has proven the utility of Earth observation, satellite reconnaissance, to provide monitoring and forecasting services in mid to high latitude regions affected by snow and ice. Starting in 1961, Secor designed and led this national program to deliver satellite reconnaissance that accurately illustrate and report on the characteristics of Earth's northern and Antarctic environments every day. PolarView provides enhanced sea ice information, ice edge charts, iceberg monitoring data, near real-time monitoring of lake and river ice, snow cover, and glacier tracking. This one is aimed at providing information to end users interested in sustainable economic development, marine safety, and the environment. The market here is not the conventional commercial market. It's the public policy makers, government departments, northern residents, and public agencies. But the products are also used by merchant vessels and icebreakers who need it for navigation, environmental scientists conducting research on wildlife habitats and pollution tracking. Inuit hunters are now daily using satellite reconnaissance to map the ice edge when they go out every morning for hunting the very walrus and various things that they hunt at the ice edge. Hydro companies are using it for managing their water resources, and government agencies are relying on it now for detailed forecasts to improve their flood prediction and protection. A wide range of products for a very wide range of users. The PolarView Consortium from these 17 different countries generates 70,000 consistent information products annually that are sent to clients in various forms and in some cases posted on the internet for general access. Our Polar Year products have been downloaded over 200,000 times. This started with a 20-month contract to Secor in 2001, and now we're a collaboration among companies, government agencies, and research institutes from, as I mentioned, these 17 different countries. That 4.5-hour time zones in Canada is a challenge. Our team actually spans 12 time zones, and so when I was running PolarView, my day would start very, very early and would end very late as we tried to bring everyone together. It's a different focus and different drivers than what we're used to. Its target market is predicated on the needs of the general public and governments, which is defined largely by government policy. In this case, we don't have this international common denominator of developing a product or service for a clearly defined market. It's policy driven. I struggle as Secor even to understand the policy-driven government market even in Canada. I'm not exactly sure what to do with that sometimes and how to access that. So I'm certainly not someone who's going to do it very successfully in Italy or Estonia or some of the other regions that we work. So in order to do our job effectively, in this case as the program manager and the lead opportunity developer for PolarView, we divided the regions of the world, of our PolarView world, into different geographic nodes. There's a North American node, the European node, the Barents Sea node. I know the Barents Sea, or the Baltic node rather, I'm sorry. I know the Baltic is in Europe, but the needs there were quite different from what they were in other parts of Europe, and in the Antarctic. And then we assigned node managers to be responsible for each of those geographic nodes. They're plugged in to what's going on there. They're plugged into the needs and the drivers. So they're responsible for very large territories, but they meet by teleconference every week to coordinate the activities of PolarView, to exchange information on what they're doing, to make sure we have a consistent brand or consistent products. If there's a change, everybody changes, and to help each other to grow the network. PolarView has well exceeded the performance goals that was set out for it, and is considered a very significant success, and lots of people who want to see it continue. But here's international collaboration makes life very interesting. If life wasn't interesting enough already, when we talk international collaboration, you also have to be aware that you are sensitive, you are exposed to what may be happening in another country that you have absolutely no control over, and sometimes you don't even see it coming. PolarView was funded by a collaboration through the European Space Agency and the Canadian Space Agency. Through some mechanism, Canada is an associate member of the European Space Agency. Because of the success of the program in Europe, it is moving from ESA, from the European Space Agency, to the European Commission. Its budget is going up. I forget the multiplier, but significantly with European Commission funding. There is no mechanism, or appropriate mechanism, for Canada and Canadian entities to now be part of this European Commission-led activity, and certainly not for Canadian entity to be leading the entire program. So we saw this coming. We are adapting to it. We are preparing for it. But what's going to happen now, because of the change in Europe, is there will likely be two PolarViews. There will be the European PolarView, and there will be PolarView Canada. So that collaboration the entire network is actually being split in two. There will still be collaboration between the two. We will certainly still be exchanging best practices. We will still be working on standards, but because of changes in one country, it has profoundly affected what's happening with that program in this country. Excuse me. So, what have we learned from our international R&D activities? Well, we have learned that to maximize your chance for continued support and ultimate success, it is very helpful to involve the relevant government bodies and agencies of your international partners. They are very effective in facilitating cross-border relationships and can sometimes help provide funding to cement the relationship. Engage industries that would be end users of the research. If they see the relevance to their operational objective, our experience at SEGCOR is that they will support the research and ultimately become your market. Engage the tech-savvy companies, and there's a lot of them here this morning, that can implement new technologies. If they see an opportunity that fits within their business, they will also be great supporters and champions. Maybe not financial support, but support in many other tangible ways, and they will take this on to drive the result into the market. Language and cultural differences are absolutely not barriers, in my experience, to international collaboration. If your partnership includes business and industry, those drivers are universal. I thank you very much for the invitation. I thank you, those who have traveled such great distances to be here. I certainly look forward to the next couple of days, and I wish you very well in your discussions, and I wish you very well in the partnerships that will certainly inevitably emerge from this exercise. Thank you very much.